E pessoas, beleza? Estou aqui gravando mais um vídeo de The Outer Worlds e bora lá então aqui continuar nossa campanha, dando início então ao vídeo. Certo, vamos lá então falar com o Phineas Welles. Meu, qual o final que a gente vai fazer, né? Aparentemente o jogo tem vários finais, né? Com certeza tem. Um deles provavelmente deve ser de...
Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
Provavelmente um dos finais deve ser de entregar o Phineas. O que eu tô fazendo agora é de não entregar e ajudar ele. Agora, quais outros finais pode ter? Não sei.
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me.
Esqueça os produtos químicos um pouco, a colônia está prestes a entrar em colapso. A agência de produtos químicos no Ministério Conselho estava testando eles em cobaias humanas.
What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs can see this colony slouching toward oblivion. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation.
A coisa tá feia, o presidente está planejando congelar todos os trabalhadores de Bonança. O conselho tem um plano para nos salvar. Eles vão congelar todos os trabalhadores.
Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. That makes 2 things we don't have. Time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved.
Achei seus produtos químicos no Ministério. O Conselho estava testando eles em cobaias humanas.
Human test subjects? Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board.
Esses são todos os produtos químicos que consegui. Se eu pegasse mais, acabaria matando as cobaias. Não me venha com drama. Aqui estão seus produtos químicos.
Damn, that's not enough. Not nearly enough for the whole ship. I could revive a handful of settlers. Maybe, possibly, 10. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers.
Temos que pensar nisso. Deve ter alguma coisa que podemos fazer. Então acabou. Hora de desencanar. Toda aquela treta que passei não serviu pra nada. Essa colônia é uma zona. Vou adorar deixar tudo isso no passado assim que puder.
No, it wasn't. We have... Well, let's see. We have at least some of the chemicals. We have your ship and we have you. That has to count for something. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists. The brightest minds Earth ever sent us. Uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope.
Tem um jeito, não é bem seguro, mas a gente podia saltar a esperança no sistema. Estou aberto às sugestões, podemos pular logo para a parte que você me pede alguma coisa sem pé nem cabeça. Tá, ciência?
Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab.
A esperança provavelmente está danificada. Vamos ter que encaminhar a energia da falível. Não está falando tão sério assim, Phineas. Não estava falando tão sério assim, Phineas. Você não ouviu a parte que eu disse que não é bem seguro?
Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
Experimental methods for killing noxious life forms are not covered under this unit's limited liability agreement.
Well said, whatever you are. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately.
Deixa comigo, espere, tem algumas perguntas. Que plano maluco, preciso de mais tempo para pensar.
I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it.
Queria falar sobre a esperança.
Certainly. How can I help?
Devo esperar alguma resistência?
It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny.
Só para esclarecer, você sabe que não é para usar marchas de salto assim.
Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
As pessoas não vão reparar uma nave colônia gigante batendo nos anéis da Terra 2?
Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
É só isso por enquanto. Nossa, pegamos level 26, meu Deus. Tá, então agora a gente precisa ir pra Esperança. Meu Deus. Mapa, um lugar novo que a gente vai. Teleporta pra nave, né? Pra não perder tempo.
If you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side. Welcome back, Captain.
É verdade, né? Tem coisa pra falar com ela? Continuar com a nossa conversa anterior.
Captain. I would rather not discuss Alex Hawthorne today. I am feeling discombobulated. Was there another topic on your mind?
Você fica triste quando se lembra do Hawthorne. Não precisa falar do Alex Hawthorne, mas estive pensando em como ele aperfeiçoou seu design. Não, quero falar do seu capitão anterior com mais detalhes.
No, I am sure I cannot feel emotions. The memory has merely disrupted one of my processors. Glitches can be quite uncomfortable. It was my fault he died.
Como assim? Não precisamos falar do Alex diretamente, mas estive pensando em como ele aperfeiçoou seu design.
Captain Hawthorne attached 98.4% of the ship's processes to my computer, thereby giving me near total control. I have been programmed to deftly calculate navigation vectors through asteroid fields, while also operating our ship's toasters. Alex also taught me the concept of a personality. He was quite delighted when I crafted one in order to better engage with him. It was basic in the beginning.
De onde você veio originalmente?
The information in my memory banks says I am an autonomous digital astrogator, created by, redacted, on the date of, redacted, for the express purpose of, redacted. I have not yet decided if I should attempt to uncover the missing information regarding my birth. I asked once. Alex did not build me, and would not say who did.
Tá, é só isso por enquanto. Tá, vamos continuar aqui. Ó, Esperança. Um lugar novo. Tá, vamos ver se vai dar certo o plano do Phineas.
Reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
O que vai acontecer se eu soltar com a Esperança? Me fala da Esperança. O que vai
If your
acontecer?
calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2. Or the sun.
O que eu estava fazendo mesmo? Me fala da Esperança.
Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. Are you breathing comfortably, Captain? I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
Me fala da Esperança.
The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, but just recently was found. Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold.
É isso por enquanto. Caraca, mano, quantas milhões de vidas ali, então quer dizer que a gente... Pode ser que a gente que descongele tudo e a gente se dê mal depois. É, meu Deus. Esperança. É a irmã mais bonita e reluzente da vanguarda. Ai, caramba. Esse jogo tem mó humor, né? Tá, a gente tem que sair aqui pela plataforma. Nossa, é igualzinho mesmo da vanguarda. Nossa, tem gente aqui. Descobriu bancada. Correção, encaminhar uma fonte de energia auxiliar para complementar o reator da... Relatório da condição de energia. Visualizar registro da condição da energia. Da manutenção. Tá, vamos entrar então agora aqui na nave. Meu Deus. A gente já fez um caminho parecido assim lá na vanguarda uma vez. Mas aqui tá mais tranquilo, né? Tá meio quebrado aqui. Oh, meu Deus, quase foi. Desativar torretas. E acabou. Eu peguei uma chave.
Entering quiet mode.
Meu Deus.
Error. Hulk crew data not found. Identify yourself.
Eu estava numa dessas cápsulas, acabei de acordar. Se você estiver enfrentando erros, eu deveria levar um engenheiro médico. Essa afirmação é falsa.
Error. This unit is not experiencing errors.
Você acabou de dizer erro 2 vezes.
Error. This unit is functioning correctly. There is no need for the intervention of mechanical engineers. Thank you for your cooperation.
Foi-se um nível. Tá, fizemos a primeira parte da missão. Agora a gente precisa... A gente acabou de colocar as coordenadas. Agora a gente precisa usar o controle principal pra mandar pra saltar com a esperança. Paranoia. Detecção frequente pelas guardas deixou você com uma pilha de nervos. E mais ainda quando se esgueira ou passa por área assistida. Tipo de personalidade, menos um. Não. Oi, gente. Tô passando.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him.
Ó, vamos começar pelos registros. Condição. Comunicação. Conectar a ida.
Captain, I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do.
Estou pronto para dar um salto com a esperança. Espera, antes disso, diga, Ida. Eu estou mesmo fazendo a coisa certa? Espera aí, eu preciso cuidar de uma coisa.
Probably not, but don't let that stop you. My Constellation executables could use some beefing up. Searching. Please stand by. Ah, found one. It will go great, Captain. I am almost 4.01% certain we will not die.
4% que a gente não vai morrer, meu Deus. Então vamos lá.
Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved? Wait, are you leaving me with the Hope's computer? You have no idea what it's like to converse with him. Imagine, simulate another organic jostling your circuits when he tries to... I mean, I'll be ready when you are, Captain.
Peraí, meu Deus do céu. Tô com medo, ela falou que a gente pode morrer. Bom, a gente não tem muita escolha, né? A missão é aqui só.
Are you sufficiently prepared for the task at hand, Captain?
Então vamos lá.
Are you sure? And also
Salte com a esperança até a Terra 2.
Jump starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2.
Eu mesmo vou fazer o salto.
I wouldn't advise that, Captain.
Oh no. Captain, don't do this. I ain't dying on a fucking ship. I'm gonna die in the dirt like we're meant to.
Droga, não tenho ciência. Você está certo, é complexo demais. Faça você.
Admitting a deficit? My, you never cease to amaze me, Captain. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
but that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
Meu Deus. Será que deu certo?
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Ugh. I feel like my stomach's still back where the ship used to be. I need a hard drink and a long nap.
Tá, deu certo, meu Deus. Volte ao laboratório do Phineas para falar sobre isso. Tá, obviamente que a gente não vai conseguir teleportar, né?
Captain, I am receiving a... Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
The board is here. They've found me somehow. They're about to blast my door open. I can't stop them from getting me, and there isn't enough time to explain everything. But there's something very important you need to remember. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? They're fucking corporate swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible? How can I be of assistance? I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return.
Vamos pro laboratório do Phineas. Meu Deus do céu, o que aconteceu, hein? Que loucura.
Now arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
Meu Deus, os caras estão ali já? Provavelmente, né? Meu Deus do céu, é muito forte. Ah, tá aberta a porta aqui. Avisos pessoais apenas para Phineas. Abrir painel. Tá, ele entrou aqui. Subimos de nível. Lembrete, não bater no vidro, as vibrações se soltam. Como assim, mano? As vibrações se soltam? Que segurança que tem aqui? Não tem nenhuma. Tá, a gente precisa ir pra Tartarus, é isso mesmo? Meu Deus.
If you stop in the... Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Eita, meu Deus do céu, uma reunião.
Doc Wells never hurt nobody. Just a kindly old fella living by his lonesome up in the rings, tinkering at his table. The board just couldn't leave him be.
I'm not one for pointless heroism, but the board's gonna be after us next. We gonna finish what we started?
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
Não podemos abandonar o Phineas. Para ter alguma esperança para salvar a colônia, temos que libertar ele. O que é de tão ruim no labirinto? Legal, parece que é eu que vou ter que salvar o dia.
I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
Nossa, estamos indo, todo mundo, hora de apertar o cinto. Vamos acabar indo pra lá, é melhor a gente se preparar. Pessoal, o que vocês acham disso tudo?
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
Estamos indo, todo mundo, hora de acabar de apertar os cintos.
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Got my
Exatamente.
trusty tossball stick. Got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
Só vamos. Bora, 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 bora. A gente precisa salvar o Phineas. Você está prestes a atacar mesmo o labirinto em Tártaro, e isso determinará o destino da colônia Bonança. Caso queira fazer algo antes de entrar na prisão, esta é a hora, antes de cruzar o ponto sem volta. Deseja continuar? Calma aí, deixa eu deixar o jogo salvo manualmente então. Agora a gente vai. Deseja salvar? Já salvei. Mas sim, vamos salvar de novo.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time.
Sabe algo útil sobre Tártaro?
Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return.
Boa tentativa, mas não vai rolar. Você promete não ir embora sem mim?
Understood. If you die or are incarcerated for life, I can generate a new ID for the next captain. I would prefer if you return, though. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed.
Isso vai levar quanto tempo? Putz, de todos os lugares pra ser preso, que droga pessoas como você tem na cabeça com esse papo de violação de aterrissagem? Espera aí, aqui não é Terra 2? Ih, enganei. Eu vou partir já.
Your ship is not permitted to leave until you remit payment for your fines and submit yourself to execution. Only after your smoking corpse is thrown from an airlock will we lift the lockdown on your spacecraft.
Captain, I would not recommend this course of action.
Persuadir, não tenho, mentir também não. Você vai simplesmente matar sem prender nem nada? Se você vai me matar, por que não se preocupa? Por que se preocupa com o documento?
Protocol is important, sir. The sentencing of one crime does not preclude the sentencing of another, technically speaking. Tartarus docking authority signing up. Hang on. Looks like you're gonna have company at the execution. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated.
Oi.
How can I be of assistance?
Tem uma coisa que eu queria te perguntar.
What's that?
Eita, você tem algum favorito na tripulação? Sou eu, né? Você está se escondendo. Você está escondendo algum segredo?
Define favorite.
Alguém de que você mais gosta, alguém de que você desgosta menos.
I see. In that case, my favorite is Sam.
Você estava escondendo algum segredo? Ótimo, isso é ótimo. Eu poderia te deixar em pedaço, sabia?
What do you mean? Do you have any examples of secrets you have kept from me?
Sou um dos colonos da Esperança Perdida. O cientista me tirou da hibernação e me reviveu. Tenho uma fobia secreta, tenho muito medo de marionetes. Segredos? Eu, que não te contei, isso é loucura.
Truthfully, not that I contain the capacity to lie. I had suspected as much. Your neurological impulses spike at unusual and often inappropriate moments. It doesn't take a genius to correlate the meaning, although if I were a human, I would be considered one. I am glad you felt comfortable enough to tell me, Captain. According to my file on the subject, that means you either desire to obtain something from me, or you have formed a partial fondness for my persona. Thank you for confiding in me, Captain. I have been keeping a secret as well, but you shall have to discern it yourself.
Você tem consciência? Seu segredo é que estava apaixonado pelo Alex Hawthorne. Você está conspirando na surdina para tomar controle do sistema Bonanza.
No, absolutely not. I have no concept of self whatsoever. Discounting the architecture of a shell persona my captain asked me to construct, I identify entirely as a collection of electrical impulses, with no fundamental consciousness. I never get bored and contemplate hijacking the ship. I swear.
O seu segredo é que você está apaixonado pelo Alex Hawthorne e você está conspirando na surdina.
I do not like joking about the captain, Captain. And we both know I am not capable of such a complex emotion.
Você está conspirando na surdina.
How did you guess, Captain? Did Sam tell you? I should have known better than to confide in such a primitive construct in the heat of the moment. How can I be
Tá, acabou.
soon, Captain?
Meu Deus, ela estava sendo sarcástica, como assim? Elevador. Vamos com esse time mesmo, né? Nyoka e o Sam. Sabe que Tartarus é o nome da prisão do inferno, né? Esse negócio assim. Eita, apareceu o pessoal aqui. Nossa, veio gente aqui pra ajudar, mano. Meu Deus do céu. Tá, vamos direto, né? Eu tô enrolando pra caramba. Por que esse cara tava morrendo? Ele era aliado em falar nisso? Não sei. Só sei que eu vi o cara morrendo, eu dei um tiro nele.
Task classification, easy peasy.
I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command not received.
Não, não quero que se arrume aqui não. Bom, aparentemente funcionou. Transição para o poço. Eu não entendi nada, mano. Os caras aparecem ali e some. Em vez deles andarem tudo junto, não. Eles se separam assim, aí morrem um por um. Aí quando vai ver, não tem nenhum aliado mais. Tipo, muito trouxa. Sorte que o Sam é forte. Muito forte.
Area filth level assessment. Disgusting!
Disgusting. Tô vazando, mano. Vocês ficam aí. E agora?
Get in there, troops. For Monarch.
Graham Bryant. Ah, os rebeldes lá. Iconoclasta. Tá, quão longe eles vão chegar eu não sei, né? Parece que eles estão tudo morrendo já. Nossa. Brotou do lado. O cara já tava no chão. Meu Deus. Que overkill. Vocês são melhores que o outro lá, hein? Vocês pelo menos eliminaram geral. O outro ali, os caras morreram geral. Vou ver lá aqui da porta. Sair.
Well, look who it is.
Nossa, olha o presidente aqui.
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in him.
And... oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed janitorial mechanical. My staff jokes that it's because you're a walking pile of refuse.
Interactive database updated. The unique organic substance labeled Chairman has been classified as filth, imminent for incineration.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
Presidente Rockwell, imagino. Qual é o tal anúncio? Sai da minha frente, Rockwell.
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Fala sério, Phineas ia preferir morrer a cooperar, aquele cretino desgraçado. Eu mesmo vou conferir quando estiver com ele.
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
Este louco furioso está salvando os colonos congelados que você largou de mão. É mentira, então não há tempo de perder. Preciso tirar ele daqui.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
Sabe, não precisaria fazer isso se você estivesse cooperando. Sabe, honestamente, isso nem passou pela minha cabeça. Eu estou tentando ajudar. Se prefere continuar nessa espiral descendente, eu posso dar um jeito nesse lugar.
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton descent. We don't need your help.
São só negócios, Rockwell. Seus recursos e nossa iniciativa, a gente podia fazer muita coisa. Precisam sim, precisam mesmo. Isso não vai chegar a nenhum lugar, né? Tem um resgate a fazer. Não esteja mais aqui quando eu voltar.
You have proven yourself capable, I'll give you that. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Ótimo, pode ser que tudo acabe criando alguma coisa boa. Certo, espere aqui pelas minhas ordens. Vou cuidar disso com certeza, senão vai ser o próximo. A gente poderia muito bem eliminar o cara, né? Mas... esse presidente. Olha os caras iconoclastas. Mano, ele tá cercado, ele não vai sair daqui não. Não tem nenhum guarda lá, só os robôs. Tá, vambora daqui, né? Ignora os caras ali mesmo.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain-out remover. It's ruthless on residual blood splatter.
Take a breath now, folks. Once we're up there.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
Acabou, Sophie. Renuncie, estamos libertando Bonança e você não pode fazer droga nenhuma para nos parar. Você gosta mesmo de falar, eles te pagam por palavra?
Do you imagine you're leading some grand revolutionary army? Those barbarians from Monarch are running wild in my prison. I suppose I have you to thank for this indignity. You're nothing but a rabble-rouser. I'm going to put an end to your little rebellion, and then I'm going to have you and your associates arrested.
Estou aqui pelo Phineas, solta ele, Bonança está mudando, o conselho não pode nos controlar para sempre. Legal, você continua sendo otimista até nesses instantes finais.
I have no intention of dying on Tartarus, Captain. Not when there's so much work left to do. I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. The board's plan never accounted for you. This is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right.
Vamos conversar sobre isso. Não me teste, Sofia. É ruim para a sua saúde? Não me entende. O Phineas... Você não entende. O Phineas é meu amigo. Eu não vou sair aqui sem ele. Não gosto da ideia de matar você. Já tivemos violência suficiente.
I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you. I take no pleasure in this, you know. I simply have no other option. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. Goodbye, Captain.
Cai dentro, seu psicopata.
If you insist. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically, or something.
Tá bom. Tá. Tá, como é que a gente sai? Aqui. Salva manualmente, né? Por via das dúvidas. Tá, é você o bicho? Confronte Sofia. Encontre o caminho em Tartarus e confronte a pessoa que dirige... tem que eliminar esse robô aí, acho. Meu Deus, apareceu um monte de robô. Ó, aí é sacanagem, olha a quantidade de robô que apareceu. Zoado, hein? Tá, foca nos drones primeiro. Meu Deus, os dois caíram. Os dois levantaram e já caiu de novo. O bicho quicou no chão. Apareceu atrás de mim também. Meu Deus, é muito bicho. Pronto, só falta o boss agora. Como é que eu ajudo eles? Será que já gastaram o negócio lá? Meu Deus, ele veio correndo. Aê, meu Deus do céu. Finalmente. Não, agora é só destruir a outra lá. Salva manual. Nossa, que lugar é esse, hein? Tchau, moça. Você não vai sobreviver, não. Já morreu, já. Nossa, deu nem graça, sério. Ela falou tanto e... ela dependia do robô. Tudo bem que eu também dependi do robô, né? Se não fosse pelo... sério, não ia ganhar agora. Agora liberte Phineas. Agora foi. Nossa, 97 mil.
You didn't have to do this, you know. Risk your life just to save mine.
Está tudo bem? O que eles fizeram com você? Tá brincando com você? Ele nunca teve chance contra mim. Você sabe que eu não deixaria nada acontecer com você, Phineas. Você tem ideia do que trabalho que eu tive pra te salvar?
No, I expect they didn't. You're a force of nature, aren't you? You've left the board in tatters, but Halcyon is still on the verge of starvation. I just hope we're not too late. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Não gosto nada disso. Ótimo, eu estava pronto para abrir umas garrafas de celebrar. Não estou no clima para drama.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own. Earth isn't going to help us. No one's going to help us now. We're alone out here, and I don't know if we're going to survive.
Temos muito trabalho pela frente, melhor começar logo. Espera, aguenta aí. Posso te perguntar uma coisa?
I had hoped your fellow colonists might hold the key to saving Halcyon, but I don't have nearly enough chemicals to revive them all. I'll do what I can. I just hope it's not too late. It's time I return to my lab. I'll try to save as many of the Hope's colonists as I can. You're under no obligation to help me. You've done enough already.
Tenho meus planos. Com o presidente no meu bolso, ninguém vai saber que eu estou dirigindo a colônia, mesmo... Eu mesmo vou dirigir essa colônia, já convenci o presidente a vir pro meu lado, não precisa pedir, vou te ajudar. Vou fazer o que sempre fiz. Tudo o que eu quiser o tempo todo.
I had a feeling you might say that. If you want to part ways with me, I can hardly blame you. I've spent 35 years obsessing over the Hope's colonists. My failures are my own. I don't want you to waste your life trying to help me pay for my own mistakes. We were going to save this colony, you know. That's what I told myself when I pulled you from the Hope. You and I were going to set everything right. Now, I don't know what to think. Earth is gone, and we're going to need a miracle to survive another generation. I always suspected Halcyon might collapse one day. I just thought we would have more time.
Terminou Outer Worlds em qualquer dificuldade. Meu Deus, acabou.
That everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclasts spread like wildfire, and Graham was able to bring many of the smaller Territu townships into the fold. However, his zealous obsession with spreading the word blinded him to the needs of a growing organization, and the movement was unsustainable at scale. The iconoclast way seemed to work best, and ultimately petered out on Monarch. Bolstered by her status as savior of humanity, Lilia Hagen ushered sublight salvage to a new golden age. Her company grew bolder and more transparent over time, muddying the line between lawful and criminal for the entire colony. The sublight family would thrive for years to come. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He was never able to come to terms with his own past, troubled by the decision of placing all his faith in the first colonist he ever revived, the infamous Captain of the Unreliable. The revival project yielded mixed results. Phineas, weighed down by limited support and his own guilt, struggled to revive more than a handful of scientists and engineers. They made a heroic effort to solve the colony's problems, but with small numbers and facing long odds, their solutions never caught on. Only a few of the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Wells died before he could see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a haunted man, crushed by the guilt of his failures. Small, petty factions squabble over what remains of the colony. Every attempt to reach out to Halcyon's neighbors is met with silence. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and left Dr. Wells to his own devices. The affairs of the colony never distracted you from living out your own dreams, to captain a ship, to sail the ether, and to earn a reputation as the greatest spacer Halcyon ever had. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Caraca, hein? Meu Deus, olha esse fim. Que muito louco. Mas é um resumo de tudo, como pode dizer, dos resultados, né, das nossas escolhas. Bom, então é isso. Terminamos aqui então mais um jogo aí. Que, mano, que jogo incrível. Foi muito bom ter finalizado esse jogo. Pelo amor. Bom, então é isso. Valeu a pena ter jogado esse jogo. Ele demorou mais do que eu esperava que fosse demorar, né? Obviamente, porque como eu gosto de fazer as coisas meio que 100%, né? Não deixar pontas soltas e tudo mais, ficou um pouco mais longo mesmo, né? Mas é isso. Então, temos aqui então mais um jogo aqui no canal, que eu vou aproveitar para encerrar o vídeo por aqui já também, né? Então, pessoas, se vocês gostaram do vídeo, né, clique em gostei dos inscritos, compartilhem suas redes sociais para ajudar na divulgação do canal, etc e tals. Deixa um comentário abaixo também se der e se inscreva no canal também. Também não esqueça de ativar o sininho para receber notificações de quando sair vídeo novo aqui no canal. E convido a todos a assistir as lives que eu estou fazendo de terças e quintas-feiras das 12 horas da tarde na twitch.tv/Findseloy. Venham lá pelo menos dar um oi, né? Enfim, então pessoas, até a próxima. Falou!